Thanks for joining us. My name is Devish. This is our first show. Our show is Russa. Come and join us. We're at Funkin' Waffles here on the Hill at Syracuse University. Let's go. All right, what are we eating?
All right, man. Well, I figured I'm going to make you the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
All right, that sounds good.
It's one of the classic waffles. It's been on the menu all 9 years, and it's one of the more visually beautiful waffles. It is a whole wheat waffle topped with bananas, walnuts, and honey. And it's it's just super good. So we're throwing this house party. My funk band's playing. It's like super awesome, dark basement. We we like pimped it all out with colors and
classic
stuff.
college band
Oh yeah,
party, right?
We took all the doors that weren't being used in the house and we lined them up on the wall and lit them up with like LEDs. And we threw this big house party, and it was in the basement. My band was playing, and we decided to give away waffles to everybody. So I remember throwing down about $100. We went to the Wegmans.
Yeah,
we got a bunch of like
investment.
Yeah, it was my first major investment. So we went to the Wegmans and just bought a bunch of ingredients. That particular night, it was a strawberry and banana organic yogurt waffle with mint chocolate Pepperidge Farm pirouettes blended inside the batter.
Yeah.
And then we put fresh fruit and whipped cream on top. And we just gave them all away. That was before we even started charging for them. And I remember just looking at the audience and everyone at the party, and like everyone's on their cell phones and they're just going, "Oh my God, there's waffles here!" Like, "Oh my God, you got to come to 923 Ackerman!" Like everyone was just literally freaking out, and so I felt the energy.
That was like the first time you saw the two sort of things.
Oh yeah, I could tell. I mean, it was a culinary experience like no other. I mean, there was music, it was dark, it was sweaty, it was funky, it smelled amazing. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
So now you got the band Sophistafunk. We're gonna hear.
Yeah, I got Sophistafunk's playing.
And the show was great. Your new CD's coming out.
Yeah, we actually just finished recording all my keyboards just the other day. Went to the studio and finished all my keyboards actually 2 days ago. Yeah. This January we're gonna be at Guy Fieri's birthday party for our 4th year in a row.
Yeah.
We play Friday nights, and it's basically him and like kind of his close-knit group.
Yeah.
And I'm really stoked to get back out there and make some music for him.
So how'd you get into funk?
I have 2 older brothers, and they're both a bit older than me. And so when I was a teenager growing up, they were listening to stuff like Parliament and Funkadelic and Bob Marley and Jamiroquai, a lot of Jamiroquai. And so I think it just kind of rubbed off on me. Eventually, after like 7 years of classical piano, I got kind of bored. So I went and we actually switched to a jazz teacher. Okay. So I'm like listening to funk music and I'm playing jazz, and then I went to Berklee College of Music for a summer program when I was 16, and that kind of further, sent me down the funk path. There's actually a program there called Funk Fusion. Yeah. Like instead of classical or jazz, you could do like a funky, thing. So I have a good story. So when I was in, I guess, middle school, my older brother Ronnie had a Jeep Wrangler, which are like the ones you could take the roof off and the doors and like everything comes off. Yeah. And so he would pick me up from middle school with like the doors off and the roof off and everything off, except he's blasting P-Funk. And I remember being like, I'm the coolest kid in the world, because not only am I getting picked up by this crazy Jeep Wrangler, but my brother's like blasting this funk music, which is just party music basically. Right. I mean, all they're singing about is just having a good time. I've heard it described so many ways, but one thing's for sure is it's all about happiness. Like, all funk music is really silly. It's really loose and friendly, and it's all about just being happy, trying to make people laugh, trying to make people smile. Yeah. My favorite artists are all like that, like Jamiroquai and like Bootsy Collins. And, all that music's just really silly. Everything's like kind of funny and funky. Yeah. So that's how I describe it. It's like the kind of music that wants to makes you want to dance, makes you feel good. Yeah. Gotcha. So I love James Brown, and my favorite album is called Funk Power. Okay. And it's my favorite record because his band was Bootsy Collins, Bootsy's brother Phelps, Clyde Stubblefield, who's like the best drummer that he had, and Maceo Parker and Pee Wee Ellis. So it's basically the best band that he ever had. Yeah. They put out one record, and I don't know if people know this, but Bootsy Collins only played with James Brown for like 2 years. He was really young, and he was started to hang out with George Clinton and took acid, and James Brown caught him. And he said, "You're fired." He's like, "You're tripping right now. You're fired." So he fired Bootsy Collins, and Bootsy went to Parliament, and now we have Parliament Funkadelic. So
Look at
that's
that.
kind
I
of
didn't know that
that's
story.
a story that I've read a few times about, you know, how Bootsy lost his gig with James Brown.
Oh my
But
God.
if you find that one record, it's called Funk Power,
All right.
and it's by far one of the best albums.
All right, we're gonna put that on our playlist. for
Definitely.
Sure. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna prepare the toppings for this waffle,
Yeah, what's this
which
called?
is not difficult. This one's the Star Child.
All right.
Yep.
So
It's gonna be a buttermilk
strawberries,
waffle with
whipped cream.
strawberries and whipped cream on it.
Tell us about the band a little bit. It's Fist of Funk.
So Fist of Funk met here.
Yeah.
We had just opened, and I had a band called Jesse Collins and the Interstellar Funketeers.
All right. That's not the original band. The original band was where you first served waffles.
No, yeah, that was in college. Actually,
Yeah.
my drummer in that band died.
Oh.
So that band is no longer. But a few years later, we opened this, and then I met Emmanuel playing with the Interstellar Funketeers. And so that's how I came about putting together Sophistiphone. Definitely couldn't have done it without the Funk and Waffles.
Yeah. How do you guys work? Like, as a band, how do you guys, you know, each band has their own dynamics.
Because I play keyboard and I write all the music, and the drummer takes care of the drums and the rapper writes all the lyrics, we're actually like three independent pieces that just really blend well together.
Just fit.
I can like write music and just bring it to the table, and
Yeah.
like we'll immediately like figure it all out.
Yeah.
So we're pretty independent. We let Jack write whatever lyrics he wants. We let the drummer make whatever beats he wants. And they basically let me.
Does one
you know,
come first, or does it sort of each song is different in that way, or like does he have lyrics and he's like, hey, and then you guys?
No, usually he wants the music first, so he can write the lyrics to the music. That's usually how he goes about it. I'm not that good with lyrics, actually. I tried writing words for a couple songs, and they're pretty lame. Sounds like a 13-year-old kid like trying to like write a love poem. Like I never got clever with the lyrics. But looks like we are about to pop out a gorgeous waffle right here.
All right.
Look at that.
Give me one road story.
Road story.
You guys travel all around the country.
So road story. So when the band first started, one of our first out-of-town gigs was at a club in Ithaca called Castaways.
All right.
And we actually made a deal with them to let us make waffles at their bar. And
Nice.
so for like about a year, there was this club in Ithaca
Uh-huh.
where you could go and get waffles like with a show. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yep. And so we had
You
kind of
guys
like a
actually make, so you would
yeah.
play
I would
the
go down
show
there. I would go down there and make these waffles.
and get off stage and then
Yeah,
make the waffle.
literally, like literally. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're just about done here with the
All right.
Star Child. The last step is the powdered sugar, which just makes everything beautiful.
There we go.
Look at that.
I'll give it to my man Myron.
Awesome.
All right, so we're excited.
Awesome, homie. Can't wait to see the rest of it.
You
Appreciate
guys,
it.
You guys check out the performance next and 360 video.
All right, man.
All right, I'm Devish here with Adam Gold.
Appreciate it, homie.
Thank you so much.